and welcome. I'm Lisa Adams, and I am the board president of the Erie Philharmonic Orchestra, and I'm joined by our maestro Daniel Meyer and our music director as well. And Steve Weiser, our executive director. We're also happy to be here because we have been telling you for a long time now that the music will return. And at last, we are ready to reveal to you exactly how that's going to happen. So first things first, I want to let you know that we've signed a new contract with Daniel to keep him as the conductor of and the music director of the Erie Philharmonic Orchestra for a very long time. Daniel has agreed to be with us through the summer of 2026, so really 6 seasons more with Daniel Meyer and at the baton. And it's so exciting for us to know, because these are challenging times that we've been through, and we've been missing Daniel and missing the orchestra being all together. But we know that Daniel will continue to hold our hand through this time period with some really exciting things to offer, and that he will be with us when we are finally able to move back into the Warner Theater with a new and improved stage and acoustics and band shells. So we're sorry that we haven't been able to bring you the exciting season that we had planned coming up here in the arena. We'll tell you more about that in a couple of minutes. But the other thing I want to share is that Steve Weiser, our executive director, is also renewing his contract with us, and we know we're going to have him for another 5 years. And these gentlemen, along with the Philharmonic staff and team, are so enthusiastic and energetic, and we've been selling out concerts. And so it's so exciting to know that we're going to have the team together as we walk through this challenging and unusual season, but when we can bring full concerts back to the Warner Theater. So that's, I think, some pretty darn good news. And I know that the board and the Board of Governors, and I'm sure Erie audiences, will be really thrilled to hear that, Daniel, because you connect with our audiences, from the youngest children who come in for our special concerts and all the way up to the oldest patrons who've been supporting the Philharmonic for years. So Daniel, we're so thrilled. And I'll turn it over to you now.
Thank you, Lisa. I just want to take this opportunity to thank you and to thank Steve and the board of directors and the wonderful staff at the Erie Philharmonic, of course, our amazing musicians and our even more amazing audience. It's a team, it's a wonderful family, it's an Erie Philharmonic family, and it's one that I am just honored and humbled to be invited to continue to lead throughout these next few years. And I know that there's a certain degree of disappointment that we won't be able to gather together in the arena and celebrate that big season that we were going to plan to take us through the Warner Theater renovation. But I think we've got some pretty wonderful plans. I'll share those with you in just a moment. But I just wanted to extend a great big thank you to everyone who has been so welcoming to me and to my family in the Erie community. It really feels like home now, and I just love making music with these musicians. I feel like we are just now hitting our stride, and things are only getting better from a musical and from an artistic standpoint. I have a lot of wonderful plans yet to lay with this particular orchestra, and I'm just thrilled to be able to do it. So thank you all for making that happen. It's a deep honor for me. And so let's talk about this season. We will be creating a brand new concert series, but this concert series will be on television instead of in person. And we're very pleased to be partnering with WQLN, our local PBS television provider, Erie, to create a series of concerts that will be absolutely free to the public. That means you don't have to pay a cent. You just have to dial into WQLN to watch us, and you'll be able to partake of some pretty extraordinary performances of the Erie Philharmonic. We're putting together some really fascinating programs for you right now that, of course, will capitalize on the strengths of our musicians. We'll probably put them in some different combinations and different groupings. Of course, it will all be responsible. We'll be following CDC guidelines going forward so that we're all safe when we're presenting these concerts for you. They will all be recorded and presented for you on WQLN. And of course, we'll try to feature everything that you love about the Erie Philharmonic, whether it's a symphonic program, whether it's pops music, whether it's a combination of chamber music with our individual stars of the orchestra. We have quite a wonderful and talented group of musicians that I'm sure you already know and that you already love, and you'll get to see them in a whole new light and up close and personal, particularly through this format. And of course, we're expecting to reach a huge audience because QLN, of course, has a wide coverage in in Pennsylvania, Northwest Pennsylvania, and of course, even across the pond, as it were. Well, it's likely we'll be getting some Canadians tuning in and enjoying the music of the Erie Philharmonic as well. So we're really thrilled about this opportunity. I just think that there's so many wonderful things coming for us. And I just wanted to also make sure that we mention that Erie Gives Day is fast approaching. It's Tuesday, August 11th. And on Tuesday, August 11th, you can make your donation to the Erie Philharmonic to make sure that this music continues to thrive. And of course, the Erie Community Foundation has already established an opportunity for us to make more, depending on how much we make on that particular day, how much you donate on that day. But we also have a wonderful anonymous donor who has agreed to match your gift 1-to-1. So whatever you donate to the Erie Philharmonic on Erie Gives Day will be doubled on that day. And so far, there's no cap on that opportunity. So we're really thrilled for that opportunity. And I just want to thank everybody in the Erie community for staying strong, staying passionate, and thank you for all of your generosity to the Erie Philharmonic and to me and to my family.
Awesome. Thank you, Daniel. We're equally as excited to be able to have you here, and I'm also equally as excited to get to spend another 5 years working together. I know we've been talking about the Warner renovations for our tenure, plus probably 25 plus years longer, and we can't wait to get back on that stage. We've been following along with the renovations and looking at the holes in the wall and the fact that the stage is gone, so I believe there's no going back now. So there's only one direction to move, so we're very excited about that. As Daniel had mentioned, the Erie Gives Day is coming up in a little bit on August 11th, and all donations received will be doubled by this anonymous donor in addition to the Erie Community Foundation match. So please check your mail for a couple letters and a postcard that'll be coming out very shortly, just to kind of give you all the instructions on how to make those donations, which you can do very easily online at eriegives.org on August 11th. As Daniel had also alluded to, this regrettably means that our 2021 subscription season has to be canceled. So as much as we were excited for Star Wars and Sheena Easton and Mahler 6 and Midori, we're still working on plans to hopefully bring those back and maybe in future seasons. So don't be surprised if you see them pop up again soon. But for now, it means that the subscriptions for this year are unfortunately canceled. So we'll be reaching out to all of our subscribers sort of one by one to let you know all of your options, which could range from crediting your already purchased subscription to next season when we come back to the Warner. So if you've already purchased your full season pass for 2021, your sort of default option is to automatically credit that to next season when we come back to the Warner. You would also have the option to donate that subscription back to the orchestra, and that subscription donation would also be eligible for the 1-for-1 match. So it's another great way to help us ensure that the music does return. But don't worry, we'll be reaching out again with some letters with information about that, and then we'll be calling all subscribers one by one to kind of go over all of the various options you have to help us move forward with this. But we could not be more excited for this news. I'm excited to be here. I'm more excited to get to work with Daniel. As a musician who had a chance to play with Daniel, and now to keep working together like this, I feel like we're very lucky and blessed to have this whole team together here at this point. So with that, I'll pass it back to Daniel for a couple closing thoughts, and then we'll round this out.
I should also mention that we value you, our Erie audience, primary, number one. I mean, the fact that you have had so much passion for this orchestra, that you treasure this orchestra, that you give to this orchestra, that you support this orchestra through your attendance. We've been breaking all sorts of attendance records over the past few years. We've been raising money and supporting this orchestra over the past few years. And of course, during this pandemic, you have shown us nothing but your unwavering commitment to this orchestra, and we value that. And we thought that perhaps this is the best way to keep our team together and stay together with you and still provide you with some wonderful musical content. And of course, make it available to people that can't join us in the Warner Theater. So that's exciting too, that we're going to be able to provide television content and television programming that'll be available to a very wide range of people that can enjoy it for free for this coming season. So for everything that you'll give on Erie Gives Day, we want to thank you in advance, because that, of course, will all help us get through this pandemic. It will all help us stay on solid financial footing. And of course, it will get us back with you together in the Warner Theater as soon as humanly possible and as soon as it is safe. And in the meantime, we want you to know that we're thinking about you and your families and anything that you might be going through this time. And we're very grateful for your continuing support and your passion for great music in Erie.
And of course, again, I can't say enough about this wonderful team and how they've really pulled together to keep the Philharmonic a presence in the Erie community through the pandemic, with special radio broadcasts and coffee chats and other videos from our wonderful musicians. But I also can't say enough to thank, as Daniel said, our audience and our patrons for the way that you've supported us during this time already. You've really done everything that we have asked. And so I hope that these were a couple of announcements that you weren't exactly expecting, that you could be getting free concerts from us. I mean, by contrast, I think a number of arts organizations and orchestras across the country have just said, see ya, we're canceling our season. But through some really creative thinking and planning, we're going to be able to keep the Philharmonic music coming to you this fall with these free televised concerts. And then as soon as it is humanly possible to come back together safely and bring you back with us, that's what we look forward to doing. Again, none of this is possible without the wonderful support of our audiences in the Erie community, the larger community really here in the tri-state and Western Pennsylvania. So we do ask you to look forward to that August 11th day and support your Erie Philharmonic Orchestra to keep the music alive in our area. And we thank you in advance, because we know you always do come out and support us in a big way. And how much better is it to know that your donation will be matched dollar per dollar, and then to know that the Erie Community Foundation is multiplying that gift as well. So Daniel and Steve, so glad that you'll be together and we'll all be together as we walk through these challenging times. And we look forward to bringing all of you back together for an exciting season of first televised concerts and then back in person as soon as we can be, and certainly celebrating that day that we're all together again at our home in the Warner Theater. So thanks again. Don't forget